Hello, 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 hello. I'm back. I am back. Hey, Mona. I'm going to invite people, especially those who had a question. While you guys are coming on, I'm inviting. So I encourage you to share, share, share. Please hit the share button to invite viewers so that they can listen in on this information that we'll be talking about tonight. So I'm taking a few minutes to invite. And please, please, please share. Hey, Tisa. So if you all will share, I'm not able to share on my profile. But if you are able to share, I'm going to give it a few minutes for some people to come in. And if you have a question, you can go ahead and type it in. If you have a hair question, something you want to know, we're going to talk about it tonight, this evening. So you can go ahead and type your question in. And I'm just going to wait a few minutes while we have some people to come on. Please make sure you share, share, share. Share this on your profiles so someone who may need it can join us and we can talk about it and hopefully resolve some issues.
We can't see how long it takes to get a patient prepped for our study and how long it takes for us to...
All right, if you are just now joining us, please share, share, share. We are going to be talking. Hi, Kendra. We're going to go over some hair questions in just a second. If you all will share this to your profiles so people can join in and they possibly can have their questions answered as well. I'm just going to give it a few more minutes. For everyone to come on in. If you yourself have a question, go ahead and type it in below so I can see it and we can talk about it on this live as well. Hey, Gwen. All right, if you all will go ahead and share. Share, share, share. Sharing is caring so that we can invite some people in if they have any questions about their hair. They can also type it in at the bottom. If you have a question that you did not get a chance to submit, you can type it in at the bottom as well. And we'll go over it on this live. All right. So, I'm dropping stuff. So there was a question I posed on yesterday. As the viewers come in, they can just come in where we're starting at, or come in where they are starting at. There were a few questions that were listed. I asked the question yesterday: if there was one thing that you wanted to know about your hair, what would it be? Or if there was one question that you wanted to answer about your hair, what would it be? And so I had a few people to respond, and so I'm going to go over the answers to those questions now on this live. So the first question that was asked was basically, in a nutshell, that someone had heard about someone had heard that it's okay to, or someone she knew said it was okay to co-wash, or that she co-wash. So if you don't know what co-washing is, this is what it is. Co-washing is basically using water to damp or wet the hair, and then following up with a conditioner. So there's many problems, or there's many reasons why I have a problem with that, because the scalp is not getting clean. Now, you have those who will argue that using warm water or hot water will go in and cleanse the scalp. Hi, Miss Deborah. Give me a second. So you have people that will argue that they can go in. We're talking about co-washing. If you guys that are coming on will go ahead and share on your profiles this video. So people will argue that you can use warm water to remove the dirt from your scalp, and then go in with a conditioner to basically add moisture and to lock in moisture to the hair. So I look at it like this. Another, hi, Miss Deborah. Another example. I'm going to give you two examples of what co-washing kind of resembles or reflects. So one example would be the skin on our scalp. We don't look at the scalp as skin, but it is. It's a continuation of the skin that's on our body. All right, so co-washing would be an example of not taking a shower, or getting into the shower, rinsing your body with very hot water or warm water, then getting out of the shower, and while you're rinsing your body with hot water, you're using a washcloth or something to maneuver all over your body with the water, just water, and then getting out of the shower and placing lotion on your skin. When doing that, you have not completely cleansed your body. The warm water may have removed some things that were on your skin, but it did not cleanse your body or your skin. And then you follow up with a lotion which has oil in it, or in co-washing world, it's a conditioner which does have oils and emollients and things in it. Another example would be when you're washing dishes and you have a very, very greasy pan or pot. You would go in and use really like scorching water to remove the grease from the pot or pan, but it doesn't completely cleanse it. It may remove some of the grease that is standing still, but it does not completely cleanse the pan or the pot. Okay, so you can think of co-washing like that. It is not recommended to co-wash your hair. You need to have a cleansing agent in the form of a shampoo, just like you would with your body. You would wash your body in the form of a soap, or well, in our world, in the cosmetology world, it has to be some type of surfactant that is mixed with the cleansing agent or the soap that goes in, and it makes it sudsy. The molecules, the water molecules attach to the oil molecules, and it helps it remove away from the scalp. So all of that has to take place to actually cleanse the hair. And if you don't have a soap agent or a surfactant in the soap or in your shampoo that is attaching to the water molecules and the oil molecules and then rinsing them out to cleanse the scalp and the hair, then your hair is not fully cleansed. Okay. Hi, Mitzi. If you are just joining us, please share. We're talking about co-washing and how it is not effective, how it is not a true concept. It is something that our naturals came up with, and the original idea of having co-washing was because basically naturals or our naturalistas were they were doing so much work to obtain the moisture in the hair, and then they would have to do it all over again by cleansing the hair. But here's the thing. Moisturizing the hair is not a one-step process. If you're trying to moisturize your hair, you need to, one, make sure that your hair is hydrated. So if your hair is not hydrated, it doesn't matter how many moisturizers that you buy from Walmart or how many moisturizers that you buy from the beauty supply stores, it is not going to stay on your hair. You have to hydrate within the body first. Then you need to hydrate the hair. Then you come in with moisture. All of it works together. But co-washing came about because the naturals were having to do a lot of work to keep or lock in the moisture, and then all of a sudden they had to shampoo their hair all over again, which basically took away from the process that they did. Okay, yeah, that's fine, but you have to cleanse that scalp. So, unfortunately, it does take a lot of work. That lets us know that the theory of being natural is easier is not true, because being natural in some cases takes more work. To eliminate that work, you do not come up with theories like co-washing, because co-washing does not cleanse the scalp thoroughly. And so then we have, hello. If you are just joining us, please share. So then we have things like bacteria. Those things are real. They are real. Bacteria sits on the scalp. And then we have other issues like hair loss, alopecia, and all of these other things that are coming about because the hair is not being cleansed. The hair has to be cleansed with a cleansing agent placed on the scalp. Hot water and a conditioner will not do it. Now, you do have some products out on the line that are they say that it says the word co-washing, and it says co-washing shampoo. Well, here that would answer your question. If you're saying, well, can I use that? Absolutely. If it's a shampoo, then you can use it. That's a marketing tactic. That co-washing word is a marketing tactic, because now hair companies know that people are listening to YouTube, and they're on YouTube University, and that the natural world has come up with formulated a new formula, and they're just using the word for marketing. But if it is a shampoo that cleanses your scalp and just so happens to have the word co-washing on it, then you're good to go. But if it is an actual co-wash that does not require a pre-cleansing or a pre-washing of the hair, and I shouldn't be saying washing, but that you're not shampooing the hair first, then it is not recommended. Okay, it is not recommended. And then you have other things like pre-poo. I'm not even gonna go into that because I really don't know that lingo or that language. I would actually have to research and go on YouTube just like you, because it's not found in my cosmetology book. And so that's the foundation for us, for stylists and cosmetologists. If it's not in the book, then there's not much to educate off of it, because that means it's something that has been made up outside of the foundation. Okay. So I really want to share with people and share with the world. It's really not about going against what people have come up with, but it is about knowing the truth. It is about chemistry and the science of hair, and that's what I'm here, and that's why I'm doing these question and answers. Okay, The other question that was asked was by Kiara. Kiara had asked me about textures. So basically what she was saying in her response was she has 2 different textures, maybe even 3 possibly different textures on her head, and she wanted to know how to train it. So that was a good question because she is not alone. Actually, almost everyone has a different texture on their hair. So if you notice, especially if you're natural, around your hairline or definitely around the front area, you have a looser curl, or maybe like it's more wavier in the front. And then the more you get towards the middle, or what we consider the crown area, it is a tighter or a more coilier curl than it is in the front. So Kiara wanted to know, is there a way to train her hair so that basically she would not have a big poof? And so if Kiara was on tonight, I would let her know that per se, not really. There's really not a way to kind of train those 2 textures. You would just basically have to treat them as if they were one texture. You would basically treat them as if, even though it's 2 different textures, you would still do the same thing you would with one with the other. And then, you know, if I knew a little bit more information, like the style that she was trying to do and the products that she was using, I probably could further help her. But to answer that specific question about having 2 or more different textures in the hair, you would treat them like they're all the same textures, because I have clients that sit in my chair all the time that have 2 different textures, and it doesn't bother me. I use the same method for all the textures. Okay. All right, so Erica's question was about the co-wash, and I think we pretty much covered that. And then I had Miss Sylvia, I think I pronounced it right, to ask about thinning and thickening. And I wish she was online tonight, because we have to dig a little bit deeper when it comes to wanting to grow or have thicker hair and hair growth. So there's several different factors that come in with that. If she was online, I was going to ask her some specific questions, but she's not. But in a nutshell, what the basic things that I would have to know, hey Precious, the basic things that I would have to know would be, when it comes to thinning, I would have to know, is that hereditary? Because if thinning is hereditary, there is really nothing that we can do to help your hair produce a thicker texture. There are products that you can use that will temporarily allow or help the hair appear more thicker, but it does not mean that's just a temporary fix that can be done. If it's something that is hereditary, there's not much that we can do. Another thing when it comes to thinning hair, it depends on the styles that you are wearing. If you're doing a lot of pulling and tugging on the hair, that could cause thinning in certain areas. And it depends on age too. You know, as we get older, there's areas that may thin, and there's really not much we can do about it. So far as the hair growth, one main thing that I would want to talk with her, or if you're asking me about hair growth, the first thing that we're going to have to talk about is diet. We're going to have to talk about what is it that you're inputting in the body to help feed the hair cells and feed the hair follicles. Your hair care regimen, what products are you using, how much water are you drinking, what type of water are you drinking. So it goes into much detail for the questions that were asked. They're not simple questions. They were very detailed questions, but sometimes we have solutions and sometimes we don't, because some things are strictly hereditary. Some things are strictly based on what we input in our bodies. And once we begin to change our diet and change our way of eating and absorbing, if we're taking vitamins and things like that, then we can see a difference with the hair growth. Another thing is, a lot of people don't have the patience to go through hair growth. Hair growth is not something that comes overnight. Hair growth is not something that is inexpensive either. I'm not going to say that it costs an arm and a leg, but it does cost an investment. So when clients come to me about hair growth, or when clients come to me about hair color, I do let them know that it is an expense. It is an investment that you're going to use, or that you're going to have to prepare for, because if you want, hey Oni, if you want to see a result, if you want to see healthy hair, if you want to see nice color, hey, Cousin Scent. If you want to see nice color or keep nice color, if you want to have healthy hair, if you want to have hair growth, it's going to be an investment. And a lot of people think it's something that happens overnight. It doesn't. There's a lot of times that you're going to get frustrated with the process, and that's fine. But I just kind of remind you that, hey, this is what we said. This is what we have to go through. So co-washing is not real. Co-washing is not recommended. You have to cleanse your scalp. To sum it all up, when it comes to having different textures of the hair, almost everyone has 2 different types of textures. And when you're styling, or when you are, especially if you're natural, when you're cleansing it or conditioning, you have to treat it as one texture. Even though you may have 2 different textures, you still treat it as one texture. If you're curling the hair or twisting the hair, you treat it as one texture. The thing about having 2 textures is, I would just recommend I would want to know what type of products are you using to help with the overall textures. But you would treat it as one texture. The only time that you would treat it as separate textures is when it comes to hair cutting. And that would be something that the professional would take into consideration. But for the most part, when it comes to rodding the hair, styling the hair, it's one texture. It's just maybe a looser texture over here or a tighter texture over there. But it would be treated as one texture when it comes to styling. All right. And the other question was about hair thinning and hair growth. You will want to make sure. Now, this is one thing, if you are wanting to have more hair growth, or if you are experiencing any thinning, the very first question I'm going to ask you is, are you taking a vitamin? And so when we get into that, I can find out what type of vitamin you're taking. If that vitamin is just biotin, and I'm going to let you guys go, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know while we're on tonight. If that vitamin that you're taking for hair growth is just biotin, you need to stop. Okay, I'll say it again. If you are only taking biotin for hair growth, please stop. It does not work that way. Okay, these commercials and these marketing tactics that these hair companies and these just companies in general, they're trying to sell a product to you, and that's great. But biotin taken by itself does not grow your hair. So you're wasting money. You have to have if I had to use a word, I guess it would be like a catalyst, because we're talking about science. We're going back to science. You have to have something attached to that biotin, You have to have something attached to that biotin that's going to help the hair grow. So if you're just taking biotin by itself, it's not going to do anything. It's just you're absorbing it in your body, and it's not going to do anything. You have to have biotin and everything else that comes along with growing the hair. Okay, so I have biotin. I need vitamin A. I need vitamin C. I need vitamin D. I need vitamin E. I need vitamin F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. I need all of those biotins. I need all of those amino acids joined together to grow the hair. It is very, very frustrating when a lot of people, when a lot of people or people that are not in our industry are teaching or putting that information out in front of our clients or our potential consumers, and it is not the correct information. And so instead of you listening to a professional who knows what they're talking about because they said it first, and we live in a society where whoever said it first, that's who we believe. If they said it first, and if they made a video of it first, and if it's colorful and it's affordable first, then that's what you believe. But that is not true. You cannot take biotin by itself and receive hair growth, because you need everything else to go along with it. And I'll give you an example. Hair Infinity. I try to, I'm not endorsing anyone, so I can call out names. Hair Infinity. Everyone was taking it. I don't hear anything about Hair Infinity anymore. You know why? Because it's not everything that we need for our hair. But was it great marketing? Absolutely. Hey, it had me. Even I wanted a bottle. So we have to do the research. And if you're not going to do the research, then find you a trusted professional. Not just anyone, because I do know that there are people out there giving out wrong information, and they're just trying to get your money as well. So you have to use great wisdom, along with a little research yourself, along with a trusted stylist to find out if the information that they're telling you is right. So I'm just going to take it on back to what I was saying about hair growth and hair thinning. That all depends on your diet. It all depends on what you're intaking. It also depends on hereditary. It also depends on if it's hereditary and what age you're at. Or if you're aging, that could be just, that's just a part of growing older. We begin to see thinning hair, and so that may be a cause and it may not. So again, I see some people are popping on. Thank you guys for joining. If you'll go ahead and share. I'm bringing it to an end. We went over some questions that some people had left under a post that I posted, which was give me one thing that you wanted to know about hair. If you're on right now and there's one thing that you will want to talk about, or there's a question that you have, since I'm on, I will gladly go over it with you. You can go ahead and type it and I'll see it and we'll go over it real quickly. But to sum it all up, we talked about how co-washing is not real. Co-washing is not washing or cleansing the hair. And actually, as stylists, we kind of don't really even use the word washing. It's to shampoo. We're shampooing your hair. So if you're not cleansing your scalp, then you're not getting your scalp clean, and you're leaving a host or an environment for bacteria to grow in your scalp, and basically to have a worse conditioning problem than you did if you would just go ahead and shampoo your hair. If you are experiencing problems as a natural when it comes to obtaining moisture in the hair, then that's a totally different story. We will have to talk about that, which goes through hydration, moisturizing, and deep conditioning. Okay. The other question that I was asked was about hair thinning and hair growth, and we kind of hit that topic really quick. And then the other question was about having two different textures. So I don't see any questions that were submitted. If you guys would share the video, and maybe you may not need the information, but there may be someone out there who will. I am going to be coming to you on a weekly basis with information. So even if you don't have a question now and you have a question later, go ahead and hit me up in my inbox. Send it to me, and I promise you we're going to go over it on the live. And what I'll do is kind of tag you and let you know that I'm on live and going over your question. If you don't catch me live, that's fine. You can catch the replay, but your question will get answered. All right. For those of you who do not know me that are watching, my name is Carmelita. I am the owner of Hair Rehab Studio located here in Charlotte, North Carolina. I am off of East W.T. Harris Boulevard, at the intersection of Rocky River Road, about 2 to 3 miles away from University, UNC Charlotte, and 2 to 3 miles away from the Blue Line as well. So if you need an appointment and if you need a stylist, oh, you're welcome, Gwen. If you need an appointment, or if you're looking for a stylist who specializes in healthy hair color, and a few other things, then you can definitely contact me. My phone number is 980-292-2450. All right, so you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you for joining. Thank you. And again, if you have any questions, you can always send them to me later, and we'll talk about them next week. All right, you guys have a wonderful night. Thanks. Bye-bye.